Hi guys and welcome to this series on Ubuntu application development. In this video I will tell you what tools you require in order to develop for Ubuntu, and we will make a first hello world application. So the first thing that you will want to do is to install the Ubuntu Sdk. Ubuntu Sdk is the place where you develop all the applications for Ubuntu. So fire up your favorite browser and head over to developer.ubuntu.com/en/start. Click on the Ubuntu Sdk option. When the page loads, scroll down and click the Install Ubuntu Sdk. So you will need to follow these 3 steps in order to install the Ubuntu Sdk. You will need to add the Sdk release PPA to your machine. You will need to install the Ubuntu Sdk itself, and you will need to upgrade the components so you get the newest components for the Sdk. After you have successfully installed the Ubuntu Sdk, open the SDK. The SDK should look something like this. Now let's create our first Hello World application. So under the Projects tab, click on New Project. We will select QML app with simple UI. We want that. We want a QML project. And now it's prompting us for 2 parameters, name and the location where we want to save it, where we want to save the app. So let's say I want to save my app in my desktop. I will choose my desktop and I will name my app my first app. Now it's asking for my nickname, my real name and my email address. Nicknames are necessary so that no 2 apps can have the same package name. That's a rule. So if you have a Launchpad ID, enter your Launchpad ID as your nickname here. So and click on next. Then choose the build targets for your app. I will choose i386 as I want to run it my desktop right now, and click on next and click on finish. So as you can see, it gives us a lot of standard boilerplate code to hack on. So let's go through the code real quick. So these two lines import Qt and Ubuntu components library, which are required to run the apps and give the components for the app. Here you can set the width and the height of the app. This is the main page. This is a page container. This is the title of the page, which will be used to display the title of the. Currently it's my first app. Then there is a column after the title. Then there is a label. A label can be thought of a text box which is used to display text. So let's change the text of the label from hello to hello world. We save it. Then there is a button container which contains the button. So we don't need a button in our hello world application, so let's delete that. We save it again and we run it using Ctrl R. It runs few autopilot tests because my autopilot configuration file is selected right now. Now if you want to, there are 2 ways of running an application that you have just made. One is from the Ubuntu SDK itself and one is from terminal. So if you want to run it from SDK, select the configuration file, select the correct configuration file that you want to run. Currently my autopilot tests configuration file is selected, so it was running my autopilot tests. Let's select my first app, which is the app itself. Once you have selected, click on the play button and it will run the app. So here you can see the app is live. My first app is the name of the app. My first app is the title of the page. Then there is a column. Then there is the hello world, the text that we displayed in the label. Now let's run the app from the terminal. We have already run it from the SDK. Now let's try it from the terminal. So open your terminal and go to the location where I have saved the app. I have saved my app in the desktop, so I will go to my desktop. Change your directory to your app directory. List my files. As you can see, there is a main.qml file. We have to run this main.qml file using QML scene, so we could run the app. So use the syntax QML scene space main.qml. So as you can see, the app is live and running. this is the same app that ran before, and it's exactly the same. So yeah, that's basically it. And hence there are two ways to run the app. One is choosing the configuration file inside the SDK and hitting the play button, or using the shortcut Control R, and the second is using the terminal using QML scene space the file name, which should be main.qml if you have a QML project.